Yes, with more than 260 million of population, Indonesia's middle class is growing rapidly. Coupled with the affordable access mobile devices, these factors are now shaping Indonesia into a fintech ecosystem. This leads to the rise of startup companies in Indonesia. But yet, some startups in Indonesia has just received unicorn startup label. What is unicorn startup? This term is firstly introduced by venture capitalist Aileen Lee and to represent statistical of successful startup companies, not only unicorn, but there are other nicknames for startups based on their valuation. To get better understanding, let's check the next graphic or the first graphic. The newbie in a startup say industry called cockroach, and then after cockroach they're kind of leveling up to ponies with a valuation reaching 140 billion US dollar, and centaurs 1.3 or in rupiah actually 140 billion rupiah, and then centaurs 1.4 trillion rupiah, unicorn 14 trillion rupiah, and decacorn 140 trillion rupiah. Through the definition, we can say that a startup company could be labeled as unicorn when its valuation hits more than billion US dollars. According to CB Insights, there are 309 unicorn startups spread around the world, including Indonesia. Even in 2018, 4 startups from Indonesia had been officially labeled as a unicorn. Curious? So here are unicorn startups from Indonesia. The first one, Gojek, with the funding reaching 2.2 billion US dollar and the valuation reaching 5 billion US dollar. Tokopedia with the funding, the total funding 2.4 billion US dollar, the valuation reaching 7 billion US dollar. And then after that, we've got Bukalapak with a valuation of the startup company reaching 1 billion US dollar, and Traveloka, the total funding reaching 500 million US dollar, with the valuation of the company reaching 2 billion US dollar. According to a study done in 50 countries by CB Insights, Indonesia has gained the first place in the category of startup frontier markets. This category is defined as the hotspots of raising venture capital outside of places where mainstream venture capital is concentrated. We cannot deny running a startup is tough. This is why when you go behind the scene, you will understand that so many entrepreneurs would test and perfect their business models before setting their foot in the markets to ensure a successful entry in the startup in emerging markets. Startups typically begin by a founder or co-founders who have a way to solve the problem. The founder of a startup will begin market validation by problem interview, solution interview, and building a minimum viable product, so-called a prototype, to develop and validate their business models. These prototypes of Gojek, Tokopedia, Traveloka, and Bukalapak, of course, has figure behind. They are the CEOs. Who are the figure behind these brilliant unicorns? We can see through the next graphic. Nadiem Makarim, of course, he is the founder of Gojek. And then we got Michelangelo Moran, is the co-founder of Gojek. Kevin Alwi, co-founder of Gojek. And then after that, we have another graphic. Ahmad Zaki is the founder of Bukalapak. Fajrin Rashid as the co-founder of Bukalapak. And Nugroho Heru Cahyono, the co-founder. And then after Bukalapak, we have another graphic. This is the figure behind Indonesia's unicorns called Tokopedia. William Tanuwijaya, founder of Tokopedia, and the co-founder of the company, Leontinus Alpha Edison. After that, we have Ferry Unardi, the founder of Traveloka, and Deryanto Kusuma as the co-founder of Traveloka, and Albert Zhang as the co-founder of Traveloka. These 4 founders are among the youngest people from the list of 150 rich people in Indonesia who on average are older than them. In fact, Ferry Unardi from Traveloka is arguably the youngest rich person on this list because of those 4 unicorns that have made Indonesia is on the list of 10 countries with the most unicorns in the world, according to the Hurun Research Institute. 4 technology startups in the country have been transformed into unicorns with a valuation of more than 1 billion US dollar. What are other countries with most unicorns then? We can check it through the next graphic. This is the countries with the most unicorns. Indonesia have 4. South Korea has 6. Israel has 7, Germany 7, UK 13, India 21, US 203 unicorns, and China have 206 unicorns. This one is taken from Hurun Report in 2019. Based on the results of a research as of June 30th, 2019, there were 494 unicorns throughout the world in 118 cities in 24 countries, including Indonesia. After saw the data, basically China and the US dominated 80% of unicorns that exist around the world. And stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.